Oh, go. First of all, stop. Hit the brakes. Hit the brakes. So here's the problem with what she's saying. First of all, there's many advantages of being biologically male. There's larger lungs, there's larger hearts, there's larger cardiovascular capacity. There's the more of an ability to generate force because you have larger, stronger bodies. Okay. Males with the highest testosterone levels were significantly faster.
Joe Rogan is on an absolute rampage when it comes to destroying the woke left and the woke cult. As you can see, this tweet here from Vigilant Fox says Joe Rogan destroys trans woman's claim that testosterone provides no advantage in sports. Absolutely ridiculous statement. Joe Rogan says, shut the F up, you're lying. The claim, there's no relationship whatsoever between unaltered natural endogenous testosterone and sport performance. Joe Rogan, first of all, there's many advantages of being biologically male. Larger lungs, I guess they mean, or longer, I'm not sure what that is. Larger hearts, larger cardiovascular capacity, more of an ability to generate force because you have larger, stronger bodies. Rogan then read this quote from the NIH study. Males with the highest testosterone levels were significantly faster in the 20-meter and 30-meter sprint trials compared to males with lower testosterone levels. Yeah, shut the F up, you're lying. I think we all know nowadays, like we're at least the people who are willing to accept the truth, that testosterone definitely plays a huge part in being physically superior to people with less or no testosterone. Like that's just the fact. You know, the fact is biological males are much better at sports. And that's very obvious because, females are allowed in male sports, but males are not allowed in female sports. And that's because men are just physically superior to women. And that's just the fact of the matter. And at least Joe Rogan is willing to accept this and call out the left's nonsense. We also have a couple of other clips of Joe Rogan calling out the left's nonsense in this video. He's been on an absolute rampage. Like I said, let's check out these couple of clips here from the Joe Rogan Experience.
The problem is when you're trying to get me to deny science, you start saying shit like I'm a biological woman, I should be able to compete with women in women's sports.
Men with 80 to 100 times.
Is he putting deodorant on his neck? Or what's going on?
As much testosterone at no competitive disadvantage. And that fact has not been picked up by the broader media landscape.
What was that fact?
So
what was that again? Back that up.
And relationship between natural testosterone and performance. There's no relationship whatsoever between unaltered natural endogenous testosterone and sport performance. About 0.5% of elite male track and field athletes at the world championship level are below the women's average of testosterone. Competing with men with 80 to 100 times as much testosterone at no competitive disadvantage. And that fact has not been picked up by the broader media landscape.
Oh, go. First of all, stop. Hit the brakes. Hit the brakes. So here's the problem with what she's saying. First of all, there's many advantages of being biologically male. There's larger lungs, there's larger hearts, there's larger cardiovascular capacity. There's the more of an ability to generate force because you have larger, stronger bodies. Okay. Males with the highest testosterone levels were significantly faster in the 20-meter and 30-meter sprint trials compared to males with lower testosterone levels. Yeah, shut the fuck up. You're lying.
Yeah, I'm really glad that people like Joe Rogan are waking up to this fact. People like Joe Rogan who have the biggest platform in the world are just calling out the left's nonsense now. Like, this stuff is just not, like, that's just such an idiotic statement. And I don't even think it needs to be addressed. But for someone like Joe Rogan who has as large of an audience as he does, I'm sure there's a lot of people in his audience that would see a clip like that and just take it as fact. But if that was fact, the clip that they played there, in that Joe Rogan Experience clip, if that was a fact, then why not just let women take testosterone in the Olympics or, in college athletes? Like, let them take testosterone if it has no effect, if it has no competitive advantage. Or why can't men take testosterone either and boost their testosterone even more? Like, why is it an argument that Barry Bonds shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because he took steroids, he took testosterone and bulked up, and then he became like one of the best hitters, if not the best hitter of all time? Why is that? Why does it matter if testosterone has no advantage? It's kind of like I don't even have the energy to make the arguments because the clip that they played is just so stupid. But I'm glad that people like Joe Rogan are bringing attention to how idiotic the woke cult has become. Because if a platform, like I said, there's definitely people in his audience that would hear that clip and think you know, that it's true, that it's fact. So anyway, we have a couple of other clips to go over as well from the same episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. This clip here is from Chief Nerd. It says Joe Rogan and Kurt Metzger, I guess how you pronounce that, on the legacy media claiming to protect democracy while boxing out RFK Jr. Tell me how come RFK Jr. can't get on the primary? The guy knows what the F he's talking about when he talks. If democracy is real, you guys don't get to just decide who runs your party against the will of the entire United States. And I already know what a lot of people are going to comment. Oh, the United States isn't a democracy. It's a constitutional republic. That's like the thing that everybody says when they think they sound smart. But there is elements of democracy within a constitutional republic. Like, do you not realize that? You know, there's still elements of democracy. And, you know, a lot of people say that are, you know, in the United States government that we need to protect democracy. You know, these people like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they always talk about protecting democracy. And, you know, there's things like this where RFK Jr. can't get on the primary, and they say that they're protecting democracy. So Joe Rogan is also calling this out. Now, I don't think RFK Jr. has any sort of chance in the world of actually winning at all, at all, for multiple reasons, because he's not presidential enough. Number one, it's just a fact of the matter. Like, listening to the guy talk is not a fun thing to do. You know, it sucks, but that's just a fact of the matter. And two, he's a Kennedy. So obviously they're not going to let him win. And you know what I'm saying when I say that. They obviously wouldn't let him win. So anyway, let's see Joe Rogan's thoughts on the woke media trying to keep RFK out, box RFK out from the primary, and not let him even get the chance to win the election.
And then tell me, how come RFK Jr. can't get on the primary? Just tell me. If this is a real democracy, you tell me why this guy, who's a Kennedy, who's an environmental attorney, who's, you know, even though he's got this voice issue, he's extremely articulate. Yeah. Very good speaker. Yeah. Very good recall of controversial ideas, but who the fuck doesn't have controversial ideas in the world of 2024? Who doesn't have controversial ideas?
The guy knows what the fuck he's talking about when he talks. When he talks, you could hear a guy who knows what the fuck he's talking about.
That guy from the New York Times, in my world, has controversial ideas.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
I think what he's saying is controversial about, you know, taking things out of context, talking about violent rhetoric. By the way, Biden and Obama in 2020 were both talking about who could beat each other up. Why? Because they're dumb old dudes.
I'll go by the woodshed.
So, but when he's saying I like to punch him in his mouth, that's what he's talking about. And when he's saying that people should be executed for treason, well, guess what?
Don't make me like him.
Hold on. That is actually the fucking, that's what happens to you if you get tried and convicted for treason.
Yeah, right.
That's the punishment.
Yeah.
The punishment is execution. It's kind of always been execution.
The problem with RFK Jr., though, and another reason why I think that he doesn't even have a chance to win, even if he was given a fair shot, is because he's kind of politically homeless. Because on one end, he goes against the left, even though I believe he wants to run as a Democrat. He goes against the left because he's really hard stance against like the jab issue. Like, he doesn't like the jab and all this stuff. You already know that. I don't have to go into detail. But also on the other hand, he's not a right winger. He's definitely not a Republican, because I believe he wants to take away guns. Like, he wants like heavy gun control. So he's kind of politically homeless in that sense, where you're not going to get all the votes of the left wingers. You're not going to get all the votes of Democrats out there because you're anti-jab, like you're anti-forced jab. So you're not going to get all the votes of the Republicans either, because you want to take guns away. And that's like one of the biggest things, the biggest issues. And I'm pretty sure he's pro-abortion. So you're definitely not going to get the right wingers votes there. So he's politically homeless. He just has no chance. Like, you can't win unless you're, you know, all the way in on one side nowadays. That's just how it has to be.
No shit.
So saying that that's violent rhetoric, what that guy's saying, in my mind, is like trying to look. He says bad enough things as it is, instead of distorting what he says, which now makes me not trust you. Just say what is actually going on.
Yes,
and also talk about the evidence that shows that Biden is insanely corrupt, because both of those things are true too. And if you don't want to talk about one because you think it props up the other, you're a part of the problem. You're infantilizing the whole country and treating us like we're children.
That's right.
And we want to know.
I think they're more treating us like we're stupid. I don't think they're like trying to baby us and stuff like that. I think they're just treating us like we're stupid. The things that they're doing now, they're unconstitutional and no question about it. And you know what I'm talking about, like in regards to the last election and what's definitely going to happen during this election as well. They're treating us like we're stupid. They're doing it all in plain sight. They're telling us exactly what they're going to do a lot of the time, and there's nothing we can do about it. Because guess what? If we really try to do something about it, if you know what I'm saying. They have all the tanks. They have all the fighter jets. They have more guns than we could ever have. You know, they're in more powerful guns. So it's like, what are we going to do? We can't do anything about it. Yeah, and they know that now. They know that, number one, most people aren't going to want to do anything about it because they don't care enough. Number two, the small amount of people who would do something about it, nothing we could do. We don't have the power to do anything about it. So they're just saying, screw it. Let's just, do it in plain sight. We don't have to hide anymore.
Why didn't RFK, why couldn't he get in the primaries?
Right.
Like, if this is real, if democracy is real, you guys don't just get to decide who runs your party against the will of the entire United States.
But they're experts.
But isn't that insane that no one has a problem with that, but everyone thinks that if Trump gets into office, he's going to become a dictator?
You've been talking to De Niro again.
I don't even listen. When De Niro starts talking about Trump, I love him too much. I change the channel.
Once again, Joe Rogan, just spot on, man. Just calling out the woke call, calling out the left for what they are, and calling them out for being unconstitutional and everything. I love to see it. And like I said, a lot of you, we already know this stuff, right? But a lot of Joe Rogan's audience doesn't. And he has a huge audience that spreads really, worldwide, and a ton of people listen to him. So it's great to hear him call out the corruption, within the woke left, within the woke cult. So let me know what you guys are thinking about these couple of Joe Rogan clips here from the Joe Rogan Experience. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I hope to see you guys on the next one.